Hello, it is your girl Timmesha here, and welcome back to my channel where I strive to teach, aspire, and shift. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you how to talk to your child about death. And I'm going to be breaking this video, or we're going to tackle and talk about two things pertaining death and talking to your children about it. So the first thing is how to go about telling your child that a loved one has died. And then the second thing that we're going to talk about is how to support your grieving child as you just shared with them the loss or the death of someone that they love. So the first thing you want to do when communicating to your child or telling your child about the death of a loved one is you want to do two things. You want to be very real and honest with them, and you want to make sure that you're being clear and direct with them. So instead of using verbiage such as so-and-so passed away or so-and-so is going to take a long nap, what you want to do is you want to be very clear, direct, real, and honest. You're going to use words such as so-and-so died, or mom and dad just found news about so-and-so dying, or even if it's a pet, last night Fluffy died. And then of course, if your child's older, you can go into more detail about the death. You can, if they have questions during that time, you can answer them on an age-appropriate level. And those are the things that you want to ensure that you're doing when you're communicating to your child that a loved one has died. And again, you want to use real words such as they died or there has been a death in the family. So that way they're familiar with their words and they don't get confused. Because if we tell our child that so-and-so is taking a long nap, or so-and-so is sleeping, or they're going to be sleeping for a long time, then you're going to kind of spark that fear or just that curiosity in your child as to whether, well, when I go to sleep, am I going to die, or am I going to take a very, very long nap? And although those are reasonable questions for your child to ask, when talking about death, we want to make sure that we use the specific language and the real language. Death is death, and it's important that we teach them these real things, of course, at an age appropriate level, but these real things, so that way when they hear these terms, they can understand what they mean. And this is also a great talking point as to talking to them about life after death. If you are in a Christian home, this is when you can instill in them that after death, we go to heaven if you believe in Jesus Christ. So these are great moments for those little but big things that we can teach our children. So again, when communicating to your child about the death of a loved one, you want to ensure that you're being real, you're being clear, you're being direct, and you're being honest. Now that you've shared the death of a loved one with your child, how you can help support your grieving child is very important for you to know, because children, as adults and people, human beings, we respond to death and loss in very different ways. We grieve very different. Is you want to give them the space to express how they're feeling, ask any questions that they may have, and you just really want to give them that space. So after you share with them, you may ask them, how are you feeling? Or do you have any questions? And during that time, they may ask you. And again, this is something that right as soon as you share the news, it may be a questions that you have to go back and revisit. Or, a week down the road, you may ask them, how are you feeling since you learned about the death of so-and-so? Do you have any questions? Is there anything that's been on your mind lately that you'd like to talk to me about? So the first thing you want to do is allow them the space in the room to express how they're feeling, ask any questions that they may have, and you can answer them or just listen as appropriate. The second thing that you can do to help support your grieving child is you can be an example for them on what it looks like to grieve. You can show them how to talk through their emotions. You can be an example to show them that it's okay to cry when you need to cry while grieving the loss of someone. You can show them how to talk through these emotions that they're feeling, how to healthily, or how to express them in a healthy manner. And you can even encourage them to let them know it's okay to share stories. It's okay to talk about your memories. It's okay to talk about things that you're going to miss doing with this person. And again, you just really want to show them and be that example for how to grieve in a healthy way. So again, the four takeaways from this video is when communicating to your child about the death of a loved one, you want to make sure that you're being real, you're being clear, you're being direct, and you're being honest. And the second part of that is, as your child is grieving the loss of this loved one, you want to ensure that you're giving them the space to express, to ask, to share any questions that they may have, and that you are also modeling for them what it looks like to grieve, whether that's talking about this person, whether that's sharing shared and treasured memories, whether that's crying, whether that's being upset and angry that this family member or this loved one is no longer there. And you want to show them how to express, how to talk about, how to feel these emotions in a healthy manner. So I hope that this video helped you guys. Please be sure that you are subscribed to my channel. Feel free to leave a comment down below about any other tips, tricks, ideas, or ways that you have talked to a child about death, or what you have found to be helpful. And I look forward to seeing you guys in my next video. All right, take care. Bye-bye.